So the answer is the same advice I give everyone, whether they're 20 or whether they're 50, it doesn't matter. Just don't wait. Like if you're gonna do something, just go do it. Even if it's not real estate, right? Like if you wanna write a book, start writing a book. If you want to be a real estate investor, start investing in real estate. Because the thing is, like, over time, these things they accumulate. Like writing a book is a process; it takes a lot of time. But if you don't start, you never get there. And your first book might be terrible, right? Like it might take you 5 books. So the sooner you start, the better. And the same thing with real estate. Like if I'd started buying real estate when I was 18 years old, after I was staying up late at night watching Carlton Sheets on infomercials when I was 14, 15 years old. Like I knew I wanted to do real estate then, but I didn't do it. I went, I'm going to go to law school. And when I get out of law school, then I'm going to start making money. And then when I have more money, then I'm going to start investing in real estate. That's the wrong strategy. The right strategy is just do it.
Yeah, I like that. So I would tell myself to fight like hell to keep some more of the real estate. So I bought and sold a lot of real estate when I first started out and didn't keep anything. So I basically became a real estate investor, created a job for myself.
Yeah.
Which I did love doing, and it was great. But I look back on, 2 or 3,000 houses that I bought and only kept 50 of them, right? Like, had I just fought a little harder to keep 1 out of 5 or something.
Yeah, and that's what that's actually what we were doing in the first few years. What we did is we had a strategy where we would flip 3 houses and keep 1.
That's something that I tell people right now.
We'd flip 3, keep 1,
keep 1, and that's a beautiful strategy.
Yeah, and another thing too is like most people don't do this stuff because they're afraid, right? Yeah. Like that's the reality. It's the biggest factor that forces people into waiting is that they're afraid. And I have 2 thoughts on that. There's a quote from Richard Branson that says the difference between successful people and those who never succeed is that successful people take action without all the possible information.
Yeah.
I love that quote. Just don't do it. Like that's not don't do any research, but it's also like don't like try to know everything. Like you can learn as you go. Right? That's the first thing. And then the second thing is my own thought, which is if you don't feel fear, then you're not doing anything important. Like if you're constantly comfortable, then you're not going to feel afraid, but you're also not doing anything that matters.
Yeah, if you're not risking something, then you're really not doing anything.
Yeah. And I agree with Imran here as well. Like you don't want to sweat the details too much, right? Like it's important to pay attention to details, but if you spend all of your time trying to get everything perfect, you never do it.
Yeah, and I would tell you that when I was a 20-year-old person starting out at 25 years old, whatever it was, I was willing to do more then than I'm willing to do now to make things happen. And part of that was not sweating the details, maybe not knowing, but I took my own money and put it in people's bank accounts so that they could qualify for a loan to buy a house from me. I wouldn't do that anymore, right?
Right. Yeah, and I mean you have to balance this stuff, right? Like if you know something's not appropriate, then don't do it, right? I mean, obviously, but the truth of the matter is, like, if you worry too much about details, you never get anything done. If you don't worry about them enough, you get destroyed, right? Like there's a balancing act there. Like you can't do things just to do them and hope that they work out. You've got to like at least know how to run your numbers, make sure your deals make sense, make sure you're following the laws, all that kind of stuff. Otherwise, you're in a much bigger problem.
What would be your approach if you're just starting out in Puerto Rico? From Kimberly Jackson. Well, I just started out in Puerto Rico about 5 years ago, and my approach was threefold. I came to buy single-family houses to fix up and sell. I came to buy small multi-family houses to fix up and rent. And I came also to buy some houses to just wholesale or flip really fast. So kind of like you were talking about, Jeff, at that point, we were trying to sell a couple and keep a couple. And it worked really, really well. So in Puerto Rico, you don't have the same amount of data that you get in the States. Like it's much easier to determine what something's going to sell for in Tennessee or Orlando than it is in Puerto Rico. But you can get the data by going and looking at lots and lots and lots of properties. And I came with the mindset to do more offers than I would have had to do back in Florida. And I offer on it. I've trained myself so that I don't walk through a piece of property without thinking about what price would I think this would be a good deal. Whether that's the Taj Mahal that I'm walking through or my neighbor's house, I walk through the house and I think, well, if I could buy this for X, I'm buying it.